What's up, I'm Jacquees and welcome to my channel. Yes sir, this is a video of how I paid off $34,000 living in New York on a teacher's salary in just 1 year. What I did not mention was I'm still not debt free.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Regardless, I'm going to explain how I got to this point and how you could get here too. But brace yourself because I'm going to give some unpopular views. Some of you might agree with me, but some of you might not like what I have to say. So before you start to hate me, go ahead and like and hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. Now you might be wondering, how did I pay $34,000 off in student loans, working in one of the most underpaid professions in one of the most overpriced states in America? Here are some tips that I used. Number one, you have to budget. Many of us don't know how quickly we could get out of debt because we don't know how much money we spend each month. Your budget needs to be written and adjusted every single month. Personally, I use a budgeting app called Every Dollar, or you could use Mint. But if you're from Trinidad and Tobago, I have not found a good budgeting app, so you might have to use good old pencil and paper. When you're developing your budget, start with your salary, then subtract the essentials like food, rent, and transportation. Set aside a standard amount you want to pay on your loan every single month, and then find a way to live off the rest. I know some of you are thinking to yourselves that these tips might not apply to you because you don't have student loans, but they're transferable regardless of what type of debt you have. If you don't have any debt, you can like and subscribe and bounce. If you have multiple debt, what you want to do is adapt the debt snowball method. What this is you list your debt from smallest to largest. You pay a minimum on everything but the smallest debt, and then you pay the smallest debt off as fast as possible. That money that you free up from the smallest debt will now be used and added to the second smallest debt, which builds a snowball effect. And this is one of the most important tips that has helped me through this process, because I get the satisfaction of paying off one debt and then moving on to another. This has kept me motivated, and motivation can be a very important factor in this process because it can be difficult, especially when you want to live a lifestyle that you simply cannot afford right now. Tip number 2, live below your means. Here's an unpopular view. You do not deserve to have an expensive birthday party. Even if it's your Jordan year, you cannot afford that car you're driving, you cannot afford that house you're living in. How do you have 10 pairs of sneakers, 5 gold chains, 3 Gucci belts, Apple Watch, MacBook, iPhone, but $100 textbook is too expensive? I am sure right now somebody telling themselves that I don't have a Gucci belt, so at least I'm not that bad. Why are we always trying to figure out some way that advice does not apply to us? Especially parents. Your parents would see a video like this and send it to you and say, here, watch that and learn something. No, you should watch that and learn something. You took out a loan to buy a sofa set last Christmas. Calm down. Comment below, what was the dumbest purchase you have ever made? Some of you are saying,
what about living life to the fullest and treating yourself?
That is the money demon whispering in your ears. Some of you just sleep with your money demons. And that leads me to my next point. Get rid of your friends. You know you have some friends that are toxic and cause you to spend more money than you actually have. It might be beneficial to get rid of some of those friends right now. Tip number 4, secure multiple streams of income. This was not something that I did really well in the past year, but it will definitely help you getting out of debt. But don't think that an increase in income is going to help your excessive spending habits. You still need to budget and live below your means. The final tip, tip number 5, is set your debt-free date. This connects to the past 2 videos that I talked about planning. If you know the date that you want to be debt-free by, then you know how much money you need to put aside towards your loan and how much income you need to generate. You also don't want to rely on the student loan forgiveness program because it takes about 10 or 15 years to get your loan forgiven. It is not guaranteed and you don't know what the laws might be in the future that could stop you from getting your loans forgiven. My personal views is that every student can and should pay off their loans within 3 years of graduation. And if you could avoid or minimize your loans or any debt in general, definitely take that route. And for anyone else that wants to get out of debt, imagine what your life would be if you were debt free. And this should be a motivating factor, because without debt, you have the potential to enjoy the money the way that you want and use money to invest and grow wealth. If you found anything helpful in this video, go ahead and like, comment and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so that you get an update when I post my next video. Until next time.